This is the content that we all needed. All right, guys, let's get into your volume profiles and requests. We're first going to kick it off with Vicky looking at Apple. Vicky, great volume profile by request because we are up a little bit today, 152. I feel like Apple is always 150. I've been telling you guys that for a year now. Every time I look at Apple, it's 150. Here's the key node here, and it's the point of control right here in Apple. This area, this 154.29, this is our new resistance here since the recent sell-off. Volume profile shift lower. That is your resistance. The only way that Apple is going to scream higher is if we break this node. The way we break nodes, three ways: a gap higher, a giant engulfing candle, or earnings, right? Earnings can be that catalyst to help us go higher. So those are the three factors that can get us above this node. Until then, you would want to, every time it hits this resistance, you want to short it. You want to short it all the way up to about 158.57. If we can break over that 158.50 level, then you'd want to be long Apple. That's the fact. And Apple leads the general market. So keep that in mind, everyone. Keep that in mind. Next up, we're going to go to Rivian, Surf Dancing, Hogan, RIVN. So Rivian's above its point of control. It's using the point of control as support. We are in a little bit of a thin zone here. This looks bullish. Upside target here. I'm just going to get to this one. Yes, Sybil, I was looking at Frey for you, but I didn't see too much magic yet. Upside target here is about 37 in Rivian. It's a nice little thin zone to take part of. If you want to get above that 50-day moving average, that's going to maximize your potential to move higher. So you can keep that on your charts as well and buy right above that. That'll trigger that thin zone. Next up, a lot of you guys are asking about Mara. I'm not seeing much in Mara. The only thing I see right now is this big point of control, kind of like Apple, using that area, that 12.12 as resistance. If you want to go long, if there's a reason to go long here, you can go long, take profits at that 12.12 area. If you want to go long for the longer term, though, my longer term traders, wait till it gets above that point of control, 14.35, and then it's going to take off. So that's how I would trade Mara, Apple, and Rivian. Let's bring on Mark Sebastian. Mark, do you have any options trade here? Anything lining up with some big money flow, maybe?
Yeah, let's talk Apple. And that looks like it's the next shoe to drop. We basically retraced the lows from June without Apple participating primarily. It is probably going to participate on the next leg down. Yes, we're squeezing a little bit higher over the next couple of days, likely, but I think you want to be short Apple into October expiration. I'm looking at a butterfly. Why? Because Apple options are expensive. And so I'm looking at the October broken wing by 1 point, the 145, 132, 120 put fly. And the reason I like that so much is that the 145 puts cost me about $365. I'm still getting close to $1.25 for the 132 puts. There is really expensive steep skew in Apple, which really works to the benefit of a butterfly. So I can put on the 45, 32, 20 Apple put butterfly on for October regular expiration, October 21st, and I'm going to only pay about 165 for that exposure. I really like that trade. This is one that I laid out to my traders in Profit Revolution yesterday. And I will walk through in later today when I get a half an hour of time. Well, 26 minutes of time.
That's right. Mark is going to explain more about butterflies in his free 10:30 a.m. session today right here. Josh just reminded us in the chat too. Mark, yesterday, and by the way, Mark gave us a nice Apple, an Apple butterfly last week on Trade the Close. Mark and I we crushed that, Mark. We crushed that. We also crushed it.
That thing returned, 300% on the last sale. That's more something along those lines. I think we got in for 30 and sold the last fly at like $1.50, something like that. It was pretty good.
It was crazy.
Maybe $2. Yeah.
I know you like to say it's bananas, but that to me was apples over apples. And Mark and I also are going to be trading the close tomorrow
Yeah.
Wednesday, and we're going to be looking into some SPX expiration trades with our members as well.
Yes, if
Mark,
you've got interest in Expiration Trader, you got to tune in to Trade to Close tomorrow because you're going to get to see the magic in action.